70% of revenge stories following betrayal end with an unexpected turning point. Asterisk I am Adele. Asterisk in this story, I will tell you the tale of Maya Collins's revenge. Asterisk there was a girl living in the apartment across from mine, on the 3rd floor, whose window faced mine, Maya Collins. Asterisk the first time I saw her, the city was just waking up. It was early morning. I had my coffee. I had opened my window a crack. Asterisk Maya was sitting by her window with an old guitar. Asterisk her fingers were gently tracing the strings. There was an urban yet fragile expression on her face. I didn't know it then, but that expression would soon become the spark of a revenge. Asterisk before I tell Maya's story, I must say one thing. In America, loyalty is sometimes like a quickly consumed treaty. Friendships forged between social media, coffee shops, and weekend brunches come and go like the wind. But some betrayals are so deep that no filter can erase them. What happened to Maya was one of those. Asterisk Maya's closest friend was Hannah. The two had grown up together in high school, started college together, and lived in the same studio apartments. They had the kind of bond people call best friends. They were two girls who acted like each other's mothers on birthdays, and treated each other's secrets like treasure. Everyone talked about how tightly bound they were. Until one summer night, everything changed. Asterisk that summer, Maya was preparing for auditions for a music scholarship. The scholarship was a key to admission to the city's most prestigious conservatory. Asterisk Maya had worked for years for this. A week before the auditions, Hannah was telling her everything is fine while plotting behind her back. When the audition day came, Maya shined on stage. Her song cut through the air in the hall. Asterisk but when the results came out, Maya didn't get the scholarship. The jury report read lack of sincerity in performance. Maya was devastated. That night, Hannah called her, hugged her, and consoled her. Next time, you'll be much stronger, she said. Asterisk Maya wanted to believe her. But a few days later, a piece of news spread online. Hannah's name was mentioned in connection with indirectly trying to influence the same scholarship. An email had leaked. It contained phrases that Hannah had sent to one of the jury members, such as Maya's repertoire is risky. She should question her own artistic path. The email had originated from Hannah's address. Asterisk when Maya learned this, a look of surprise first appeared on her face, then an empty shell. The offer had flown out of her hands because of Hannah. But the real wound was the betrayal itself. Asterisk Hannah had humiliated her just for her own gain. Asterisk worse. After this betrayal, Hannah acted as if she had just smiled, turned her head and started college. Photos of them together on social media with best friend tags remained exactly as they were. Hannah had stolen Maya's biggest dream, then played her part with false sympathy. Asterisk that day, Maya changed. She changed, but not in an explosive way, of course. It was a change you would notice after a while. Asterisk calm, cold-blooded and sharp. I listened to the story sitting by my window. Maya didn't tell me at first. The moment she told me, everything was already planned. Asterisk Adele, she said, knocking on my door one evening. Do you believe me? Asterisk I know what happened, I said. Asterisk your name was mentioned somewhere. Asterisk from that day on, Maya's revenge plan began. One thing must be stated from the start. Maya's revenge was not physical violence or overt destruction. What she saw was the erosion she would create in Hannah's inner world, the shaking of everything Hannah knew about herself. Psychological revenge. Asterisk the first move was simple but clever. Maya tracked down the people around Hannah, former students or the scholarship jury members, Hannah's professional contacts, even the barista at her favorite cafe, one by one. In American culture, secrecy is difficult, but social media, email archives, and human relationships were enough to track everyone. Maya knew Hannah had an image. Popular, successful, smiling. That image had small cracks. Maya decided to widen those cracks. Asterisk Maya first identified Hannah's mask. Hannah learned to achieve success by knowing the right people and opening the right doors. Maya countered this with the concept of the fallible human. She found an old note of Hannah's, a diary entry, almost confessing to small manipulations she had made in college. Maya left this note at the art gallery Hannah regularly visited, but not directly for Hannah. It was an anonymous note, like a flyer. The words inside were simple but effective. Do you know how many people suffered behind one success? Hannah's name was subtly implied. Asterisk the first wave created a small storm. Whispers started among Hannah's social circle. Some asked, is Hannah really that ruthless? Hannah initially defended herself, but Maya's plan wasn't to attack directly. Asterisk she was infiltrating the beliefs, decisions, and conscience of those around Hannah. Asterisk the next step was more subtle. Maya spoke with Hannah's advisor. Instead of telling the true story, she started with, sometimes people cause harm without being conscious of it. Some small mistakes Hannah had made in the past, claiming a group project, playing games in the background to sabotage a concert, slowly came to light. This information was not spread on social media, but face-to-face, in cafe chats and office corridors. In American culture, rumor is powerful. As named or mentioned, it starts to look like reality. One evening, Hannah came to me. Her eyes held a fragility I had never seen before. I don't know what Maya did to me, she said. Things are turning negative. But I can't find the reason. Hannah's voice at that moment held a distorted mix. Shame, anger, fear. I realized then that Maya had succeeded in triggering Hannah's self-questioning. Hannah was falling apart like the pieces of a functional puzzle. But Maya never made a direct expose. Her tactic was to trap Hannah in her own subconscious. For instance, a past lie of Hannah slowly surfaced in the presence of her closest friend, Sarah. Sarah began to question Hannah. Hannah became defensive. This cycle lowered Hannah's external trust while also cracking her inner world. Effective revenge requires more finesse. Maya was aware of this. In the next step, she touched upon Hannah's love life. Not a physical thing, but an emotional fracture. A picture of Hannah and her boyfriend, Luke, was sent to Luke with a fake email. The email gave the impression that Hannah was acting cold towards Luke. Luke became doubtful about the relationship. He distanced himself from Hannah. As Hannah's social circle weakened, her loneliness deepened. Maya knew well how loneliness erodes the human soul. While all this was happening, Maya always stood one step ahead. Her eyes measured the cracks within Hannah, anticipating which move would create a deeper fissure. The goal of revenge was not to destroy Hannah. Maya's purpose was to create an inner silence, where Hannah would question herself, where she would feel the weight of her own actions, just as Maya had felt. As time passed, Hannah became restless. She started making mistakes at work. She suffered performance anxiety at concerts. She argued with her friends. That strong, 100% in control girl could no longer hide her mistakes. Those who saw this change were surprised because Hannah was an already established character, a template everyone knew, and everyone carefully preserved. Maya had shattered this template. One night, Hannah was sitting in her own apartment, opened her phone and saw a video. The video was a recording of a moment years ago when Hannah had humiliated Maya. Hannah was shown laughing and mocking Maya while she sang a song. The video had been uploaded anonymously by an account. Hannah's face turned pale. At that moment, Hannah understood that the past was an indicator. People didn't forget. This realization began to turn into a kind of regret, or perhaps panic inside Hannah. Hannah's downfall, when viewed from the outside, looked like a series of coincidences. She lost her job. Her concerts were cancelled. Her friends drifted away. But viewed from the inside, everything seemed to be the result of a plan. Maya never committed a public crime. She merely forced Hannah to confront her own beliefs and choices. In an American neighborhood, justice is often not visible. Words, a glance, a share can ruin a person. Now we come to the most sensitive part. Let me explain why Maya wanted this revenge. When she told me, her eyes welled up, but her voice was cold. She crushed me, she said. She stole my dreams, then looked into my eyes and pretended to be my friend. She didn't kill me, but she stole a part of my life. I didn't want to give it back to her the same way. I wanted to steal the world she trusted the most, her confidence. These words showed the source of the revenge. This was an injustice that touched one's soul. So what did Maya do in the end? What did Maya feel when the revenge was complete? Perhaps there was no triumphant slap as we might expect. One night, in a final move, Hannah knocked on Maya's door. There was something different in her eyes than before. Regret, shame, or surrender, it's hard to say. The two women had a short conversation. Maya didn't shout anything. Hannah began to cry. At that moment, Maya released some of the weight she had carried for years. Revenge-filled plans also wear a person down on the end. The next morning, Maya started emptying her apartment. She left me a note. Time to go. Adele, a new beginning. She left. Before leaving, she took the old guitar from the apartment's rooftop. She looked one last time at the scratches on the small, drawn tiles on her window. She left because revenge, no matter how satisfying, was not a permanent haven. Revenge temporarily soothes the soul, but it also leaves a burden. I looked out my window. I watched until Maya's car lights disappeared. The city was waking up again in the morning. People were getting their coffees and going to work. Kids were going to school. Life went on. Maya would build a new life somewhere. Maybe she would shine on stages again. Or maybe she would play the guitar and sing in a small town. I don't know. The only thing I know is how the fragilities and betrayals within people silently write a story of revenge. Sometimes I see Hannah in the apartment corridor. Her face has changed, her hair is shorter, her gaze is more cautious. I see her, but she doesn't have her old friends by her side. A face that once shone is now less bright but more real. Perhaps Maya's goal was exactly this. Not to destroy Hannah, but to force her to confront what she had done and to live with the impact she left behind. Asterisk, I am telling this story because in the streets, neighborhoods, and universities of America, there are thousands of Mayas and Hannahs. Betrayal matters because it can shatter a person's identity. Revenge, on the other hand, is complex. Sometimes it delivers justice, sometimes it opens more wounds. Maya made her choice. She responded with a silent, calculated, and psychological revenge. Then she fled. She fled because, for her, revenge was not suicide but salvation. Asterisk I, Adele, I am only the witness. I watched the story unfold while sitting at my window, sipping my coffee. Sometimes extending a helping hand to people is not enough. Sometimes the best thing we can do is just listen. Asterisk when Maya left, what remained was a silence. But that silence was never the same again. It held the echoes of injustice and betrayal. Asterisk if I hear a guitar sound again on the apartment's rooftop someday, I will stop and listen. Asterisk perhaps Maya has returned, singing a song, a melody bidding farewell to the past and greeting a new life. Asterisk this was her story. The tale of a revenge crafted like a psychological work of art. After the betrayal of her closest friend, a story that ultimately ended in escape. Asterisk have you ever been betrayed in your life? Asterisk you can also share your stories of betrayal with us.